Welcome back to Peculiar Notions. Today, we're going to take a spoiler-free look at the 2023 sci-fi novel Epoch by Elle. Because of some sci-fi shenanigans, a group of people from 2019 America, specifically Texas, get catapulted through time and space to 1943 Poland, where they are caught on the Eastern Front of World War II. With the initially begrudging assistance of a Luftwaffe pilot that they rescue/take captive, the stranded time travelers make their way toward Krakow, believing that there they can find the means of returning themselves to their original time. All the while, they must endure the elements of the Polish winter and face the dangers presented by the clash of German and Soviet armies. In many ways, Epoch reads like a throwback to more action-oriented, pulpy sci-fi from earlier decades. Science fiction time travel component is mostly meant to jumpstart the novel, putting the main characters in a dangerous situation, and plenty of sci-fi from Asimov on down uses this same basic structure, so Elle's novel is, in its broad strokes, in pretty good company. There are some basic comparisons that could be made to the Barsoom novels of Edgar Rice Burroughs. The protagonists are jaded veterans, they are brought by forces they don't understand into a new setting. The knowledge and training from their home gives them certain advantages in their new circumstances, and there is a heightened sense of dangerous adventure. This comparison can only be taken so far, but I mean it as a general guideline to the kind of novel that Epoch is. Namely, rather than the hard science of anything, the story focuses on the conflicts of basic survival, trying to get back home, and the complications of the group dynamic among the characters. Now for the hard sell. The biggest ask that Epoch makes of the reader have nothing to do with the physics of time travel. That aspect you either buy into or not. Firstly, however, one of the principal characters, Otto, is a Luftwaffe pilot. Because Nazis are universally reviled, and rightly so, having a German military officer be a main character asks a lot of the audience. It can be done, as seen with novels such as Steinbeck's The Moon is Down. As many protestations as Otto makes about how not all Germans are Nazis, there is no overcoming the fact that he is an active, willing participant in the machinery of death and oppression. There are already a fair number of sensitive readers who won't like Blanca because she is an American Army veteran of the War on Terror in Afghanistan, so it requires a lot on the part of the audience to accept a member of the German armed forces in World War II to be an acceptable protagonist. Do we see Otto grow and change over the course of the novel? Yes, but that's just not going to be enough for some readers. Related to this thorny issue is the possibility that some in the audience aren't going to appreciate a sci-fi adventure story being set in war-torn 1940s Poland. It isn't remotely fair to suggest that this is a light-hearted romp through World War II, but the inclusion of sci-fi elements will make some non-genre readers think that the real historical situation isn't being treated seriously, which would be incorrect. Again, this is not a situation without precedent. Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five is probably the most famous example of a time-traveling sci-fi novel set during World War II, a significant part of which takes place during the firebombing of Dresden. Harry Turtledove has also wrote quite a few sci-fi novels that are alternate takes on World War II. Similarly, though they are not science fiction, other books manage to take place in combat zones of the Second World War. City of Thieves by David Benioff is essentially an adventure story set during the Siege of St. Petersburg, and of course there is Joseph Heller's Catch-22, which is considered by many groups like the Modern Library, Time, and The Big Read by the BBC to be considered one of the greatest novels of the 20th century. Now, it helps that some of the above-mentioned authors were veterans of World War II, so they are inoculated to a great degree against accusations of appropriating a historical setting for their own ends. However, no one can fault Elle for not being alive to be a veteran of that conflict. Besides, if Doctor Who can pal around with Winston Churchill as the Daleks get involved in World War II, it's not asking too much to let those same timey-wimey rules drop a handful of Americans into Poland. The novel throws its characters into danger almost right away with little in the way of explanation. In particular, the beginning and end of the novel move at a breakneck pace. Characterization happens along the way, especially in the first half of the novel, which focuses more on the immediate issues of basic survival and trying to put together a plan of action. While this choice gives the novel a lot of momentum, it does make some characters a minor concern at best. Priya and Matteo in particular come across more like plot devices than they do characters. This wouldn't be a major problem, except Blanca's first concern is the safety of Matteo, her younger brother. He clearly means a lot to Blanca, but he doesn't really mean anything to the reader. Also, even taking the time travel element lightly, it is a far stretch to ever believe that Ian will be able to MacGyver together a bootleg time machine out of shoelaces and bag guano in World War II Poland. For those readers expecting the story to lean into the sci-fi time travel elements, you will be disappointed. As stated earlier, this isn't a hard science fiction story that gets in depth with the physics or quantum mechanics or tachyon particles or anything of the sort. The time travel is a device to put the characters in danger and start the story. Even soft sci-fi approaches to the nature, ethics, or effects of time travel on either timelines or the people doing the time traveling aren't really addressed because that's not what this novel is about. This choice is not a flaw on the author's part, but it might be important for the audience to know that before going into the novel. I'm not going to get lost in the tall grass going into craft and stylistic choices the author makes, mostly because nothing came across as a fatal flaw, and mileage will vary depending on the audience's tolerance for those elements. I can see where some aspects, either in their nature or sudden inclusion, might irritate readers, but nothing derailed the book for me. Also, because of the speed of the book, nothing overstays its welcome. Overall, Epoch is a pretty good book, especially if you have an idea of what you're in for. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my peculiar notions. If you're interested in this novel, I'll have a link in the description below where you can purchase a copy. Don't worry, it's unaffiliated with me, so I won't be getting any kickbacks if you buy the book. If you like what I'm doing here, you know what to do. I'll also have a link below to my written reviews and analysis if you're interested in looking into that. Until next time, please live and be well.